episode of Broken Bear Conversations. Just Broken Bear Conversations. No smoking or anything like that. It's been a while since we just talked sober. But if anything, that's probably for the better.
Yeah.
We both are coherent and able to talk.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I'm Seiko.
I'm Josh.
And before we get started, check us out on all platforms.
All
TikTok,
platforms.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Instagram at Broken Bear Conversations. But yeah, what we're going to talk about today is something that very interesting that happens to me, and I'm sure happens to everyone else. But I don't know how to exactly describe this or put it into a single word, but like when you're very connected to people, sometimes it's interesting how life works. And what I mean by that is, for example, me, I say the closest person I'm connected to is my girlfriend. And because we're dating, we've been together for like 2 years now, which is my longest relationship. But yeah, I feel like we're very connected. And what I mean by that is like, for example, there'll be like days, we text and stuff, right? And then there'll be like maybe like a 2-3 hour gap between us texting, and it's like she hasn't texted me in a while, right? And I'm just looking at our messages, just seeing what we said and stuff. And then I'm like, kind of missing her.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I wish she would text me right now. And then in that moment, she texts me,
Yeah.
And that happens a lot, where like I'm just thinking about her, and then she'll hit me up, Or it's like, for example, the opposite way, where I'm like very busy, and then I'm like about to like do something. I'm like, okay, I'm about to read this book or something, right? And then I'm like, and it's like hours where she doesn't text me at all, right? I'm not doing shit for those hours, right? And then as soon as I start doing something, like reading a book, she instantly texts me.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does this always happen?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Where it's like sometimes you're not doing shit, and it's like, oh, it would be cool if you're texting right now, like I'm not doing shit. But then like once you have to start doing an activity, then they start wanting a conversation. It's like, damn, you could have texted me 3 hours ago,
Yeah.
Instead of right now when I'm about to read this book,
No,
so that
for
happens
real.
to me a lot, and it's kind of very creepy sometimes, because sometimes I'm like, I might be like, I don't know. But do you have an example like that?
Oh yeah, no. This room is actually created because of one of those reasons. Because we had, so like I do a lot of creative stuff, and same thing with Ashley. We need like our time alone for that. But usually I'll write, like I have nothing's going on, and I'll decide to sit down. I feel like I kind of feel pulled to just mess around on the guitar or whatever. That's when something starts happening. I get texts, calls, whatever, and she's trying to get a hold of me about something, or that she'll come in the room and I want to do something. It's like, but that's like, I'll start freezing up. It's like that was right when I choose to do that. And same thing with her. She just starts opening a book, reading it, or writing, getting in like big thought, and that's right when I come in. And it's, why is it syncing up like that? But just like you said on the opposite end, it's like, am I telepathic? She telepathic? Because it feels like we've heard each other, like we felt each other want something. And like I remember I was this is back at my old house. We had like a shed, kind of like this little vibe, and I was chilling in there, and I just had an urge to go, I was thirsty for some reason, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just give Ashley a drink as well. She was wanting water. A weird thing like that. It's just like, oh hey, it's just a weird coincidence. She was in the house, gave her a glass of water, she was just like, she was going up to get one. It's just like, how did I, it's just like a weird sync up. Like I had an urge to get it, and she had one at the same time. I was pouring her a glass just to be sweet, and she was already coming up to get one. It's just weird shit like that. But that's just surface things. This shit's been going on forever with us since we started getting together. Like the closer we got, I feel like the more connected mentally. Even like when I was like, I'd be sad for some reason, I wouldn't know why I'm sad, and then I go check in with Ashley. Something happened. She's going through something, and I'm like, weird. I'd be feeling happy, all of a sudden I just feel like I'm sad.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, it's just like this unquantifiable thing you can't really quantify or exactly pinpoint, Because again, going back to me and my girlfriend, one thing that was also very interesting is that we have nicknames for each other, right? She calls me Tree.
Tree,
because
alright.
I'm tall and skinny.
Yeah.
And then we associate the color green with me, because trees are green.
Okay, I like that.
And then with her, I call her Kirby, like the video character, right?
That's why you draw Kirby so much then.
Yeah, because of her. But,
that's cute.
Anyway, I call her Kirby. I forgot how I even led to that. But, I think, very random story, but I was on Instagram, and the freaking Instagram ads got me. I got this ad to buy this like very cute Kirby purse. And I'm like, I think she would like this because she likes cute characters and all this. And I bought her that. And I guess ever since that day, Kirby became associated with her, right? But it's interesting how ever since we've been together and we've had this whole tree Kirby thing, me and her see a lot of tree Kirby things in life. You know, like I'll be driving, I'll go to like Safeway, the grocery store, right? And I'll pass by a car and I'll see on the car they have like a car decal and it's freaking Kirby stickers.
That's pretty crazy.
You know, it's just like, and then before being with her, I wouldn't see a lot of Kirby things in general. But ever since being with her, I see a lot more Kirby things in life.
It's like your eyes were kind of adjusted for it in a sense.
Yeah, man. And then like I'm like, you know, I'm like at work or something, and I'm passing by the cars, and you know some of the cars got like plushies in there. I swear one time I seen someone had a Kirby plushie in the car. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's so weird. That's a random encounter. Yeah.
You know, that I'm like walking to work, and I have this reminder of my girlfriend. You know.
No, I think those encounters, like even those weird sync ups, there's gotta be something to it. Maybe it's like this universe talking to you in some way. It's odd. It's so odd, especially that you're recognizing it, which shows you is something going on.
I see a lot of pink stuff too. You know, I don't know how to explain it. Oh, you know what's crazy? When I first started working at Lantern Press, right? I remember we had a coworker who quit, but we call him P. You know, so you know who I'm talking about,
yeah.
Right? And I remember he had a lot of funny shirts. I remember he would wear, you know, he had this one shirt about like who drinks this type of alcohol or whatever, right? Just very like kind of mean, funny shirts. And then I remember one day he came in for freaking pink Kirby shirt.
I remember that one too.
I was like, dude, what the fuck? You got a Kirby shirt? Who do you see walking around with Kirby?
No, for sure. I've never seen that.
That's not a common thing.
Maybe when I was a child, when Kirby kind of was more popular, I feel like he had like a big up jump and then kind of dwindled away.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen Kirby be relevant in years, man.
I seen that, I'm like, oh my god, another Kirby in my life.
Damn.
You know?
So you started talking about Kirby. I don't think I really ever noticed Kirby being relevant.
I see Kirby all the freaking time.
That's crazy.
I see a lot of pink stuff in my life.
Yeah.
You know? Or like even like me and my girlfriend maybe might be going through something like an argument or something.
Yeah.
And I might not be in a good mood. And I'm walking again by another car and I might see another like Kirby there. I'm like, oh my god, another reminder. You know, but then it brings my mood up.
Yeah.
So how can I be mad at this cute little pink circle, you know, that's smiling?
Yeah.
You know, so that happens to me a lot. And even with her, like she'll be walking around and then she'll see like a flyer for tree servicing. She's like, look, I see a tree thing for you, you know, and then she'll send me that.
Yeah.
Or my text and stuff like that, you know. Or she'll see, she went to a trip recently to go to San Diego. And then she was like texting me as she got off the airport. And then as she was walking in the airport, she passed by a guy who had this striped shirt that was green and pink stripes. And I was like,
what a weird.
that's rare.
Yeah.
You don't,
no, for real.
Striped shirts are common, but you don't see green and pink as a color combination.
Yeah, the ones that relate to y'all.
Those aren't like color combination people wear. People wear like red and blue.
Yeah, that feels like 80s stuff, you know.
And red and all that, but pink and green, you know.
No, only ones I can think of is like neon pink and neon green.
Yeah, and I think another one that happened recently that you were included with.
Oh shit.
Is that last week you gave me a purse, right?
Yeah.
And this purse was a green purse related to me, but not only that, this purse was a brand that she likes a lot, Kate Spade. Because I remember 2 years ago or a year ago, last Christmas, she really wanted this like strawberry pink Kate Spade wallet. So I went and like fell a reseller for it because they're all sold out everywhere, right? And ever since then, I'm like, okay, she likes Kate Spade. And the next thing you know, you bring me a Kate Spade green purse.
That's crazy.
I'm like, damn, that's interesting.
No, it's weird. I didn't know the especially the color relatability. Is that the right word? Relations. There you go. Because the fact that she didn't have the pink wallet inside the green purse, so it feels like it's connected.
Pink and green.
And I think you forgot the purse.
No, because you told me you're gonna keep it because you're gonna like put new leather or something.
Oh no, I was just trying to clean it.
Clean it, yeah.
No, I did. I brought it back. When I brought it back in there, I cleaned it. I tried to clean it. I was like, oh, I won't clean that much.
I'll take it today. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
It just happens a lot.
That's crazy.
You know.
No, that's a weird coincidence like that, and that's pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, or even I've talked about this before, but this is like a synchronicity type moment where like things line up.
Yeah.
Synchronicity, or like when things line up in your life, they have no logical explanation, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I had this friend, I call him D, who's I like him a lot. He's a really good guy. And I remember I was at our job because I just quit my previous job where I was working with him, right? And I'm at my new job now, and it was like maybe within the first month. And I was just kind of thinking about him, you know, kind of like my previous job.
Yeah.
I just quit. I didn't put in my 2 weeks. I just quit. So I kind of didn't get to like say goodbye to everybody and shit. I did send like texts out and stuff, right? But I didn't get to have that like in person goodbye.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know. So I just felt hella bad, you know. So I did text him beforehand, you know, goodbye, like thanks for this and this, you know. And then we had a good text exchange and everything like that. And like a month later, I was just thinking about him again. I'm like, man, I wonder how he's doing, man. You know, I'm like, he was a cool dude. You know, I'm just thinking about him, you know. And then literally, that was in the morning of our job, right? And it's time to go to break time now, our first break. And as I'm walking to break, I feel a vibration in my pocket. I'm like, oh, I got a text.
And the timing of that too. Don't forget walking to break.
Yeah.
That's important because you could have been walking to work, getting ready to start, you wouldn't answer the phone, but you're going to break ready to chill and relax.
I just checked my phone and a freaking text from him.
Damn,
inviting me to go to a grand opening at his brother's restaurant.
Badass.
And I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. That I was just thinking about this guy. And literally within like an hour that same day, me going to break, he texted me.
Yeah.
I was like, that is crazy, you know? Sometimes I just feel like you're connected to people.
No, for real.
And that happens consistently throughout my life. Because I've had moments where like I enter a new space, you know, like a new school, a new classroom, a new job or something. And as soon as I enter it, I already have this, it's hard to explain it. But sometimes I just feel like I have this like, I could look around and feel like, oh, there's like a, how you talk about, there's like a pull towards certain people. You know?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I've had that.
Those subconscious doors, man.
Throughout my life, a lot throughout my life. You know, it's like, you walk into a room, I remember you know, you can talk. I keep giving some examples. Let me hear one.
Yeah. No. I was gonna bring up. So exactly what you're talking about. It was just recently happened. I was at work and I was just chilling. And I know. Sometimes you at work, you just get busy. Don't really think about stuff. Just thinking about my cousin. For some reason, just in my head, and I didn't really think to call. I was like, I thought about the time difference because they're back in Texas. So it's like, I can't call them, even though I'm thinking about them because I remember you brought that up. That when you think about somebody, it's like you probably should call them. It's like they're probably thinking about you, and I didn't really worry about it. And I ended up looking at my phone, fucking missed call from her, and I was like, oh shit! And I ended up calling her back, and I was like, let me call her back. Maybe she's still up. And then we ended up having a chat for like an hour. I was like, how fucking weird. It's like I was thinking about her, not only just like, oh, just remembering my fucking their childhood and hanging out and just doing, you know, stupid shit back in Texas. But I was just like, it's so weird, but you're right. Why would they call randomly like that? Like, we probably chat maybe a few times a year. Just like, it's such a weird coincidence. They just started calling like that. But last time I talked, it was like maybe a month before. We were chit-chatting about whatever. So it's just odd. Like, that weird sync up. I literally was just thinking about it. Maybe 20, 30 minutes later, I looked at my phone and I had a missed call from her. I was like, that's fucking crazy. But that was the only time that recent this shit happened. But I don't know. And the other sync ups were just like, the shit with Ashley, man. Like, I told you how she hurt her ankle. I think you remember that one story where we were about to move, and I saw her in my mirror. She's just looking up at the moon, just being, you know, I was like, what's she doing? And then I had a thought, I should go stand next to her. And I'm like, I'm already, it's like the same thing we were talking about before, like when you feel like you don't want to do something because you already were chill and relaxed, like, I don't want to do that. And then as I was saying that, I was just thinking, I was like, no, she'll just be here in a little bit. And then maybe 10 seconds after that, I noticed her fall off the step. It wasn't very tall, maybe like 5 inches, 6 inches, you know, a little step. And she did that, twisted her ankle so bad, and it still hurts to this day. It still has like a little pop sound in it. And I'm like, if I stood there, I probably wouldn't have got there in time to fully catch her, but I probably could have caught her before she fully fell. So I was like, I probably would have synced up right when she was falling if I got out when I first thought that thought. And what a weird thing to have in. And in the other one, when we had one of our arguments, a big fucking fight. You know, Ashley and I, my wife, been married since 2018. So we've had our fair share of fights. Like most relationships, they have their troubles. We had this really big fight, and we were separated. I stayed in this little shed that we had, and she went back in the house. And I just like, I need to calm down. She needed to calm down. And I calm down usually once I'm away from the situation. It could be pretty quick. And I was just like, now I fucked up. Great. How do I make this better? And I didn't really worry about it. And then I started just doing my own things. I know she needed space. And then she just was in my mind again, like strong. Like, I need to go check on her. And then I just ended up going back inside. And as soon as I went back inside, she was like, Josh? Like, I was like, yeah. She's like, did you hear me? I was like, no, I didn't hear you. You didn't hear me? I was like, no. I was like, what's going on? It's like, I was wanting you to come in the house really bad. And I was separated. I couldn't have heard her outside because I was separated. And I was like, how crazy. It was just like the urges, the pull, I guess her emotions, who knows what. And she wanted me in there just to hold her and just to be with her. I'm like, how crazy it is. I don't know what that is. I like, am I telepathic? Is this like it's same thing with her? She did the same thing. She came in and helped me with shit.
I don't know if it's telepathic. I just think we're all connected.
Yeah, it's something. But I feel like that's something. It's like even. I feel like us, like, we can read shit if we can see it. Like how, like, I think dogs can see energies and like stuff like that. I feel like there's probably something, a frequency we're giving off. And I feel like if we're in tune with someone else's frequency, we'll pick up on it.
I definitely feel that, you know, because I want to give another example. I remember when in high school, I went to 2 high schools. First one being Franklin High School, second one Renton High School. And I transferred because we moved from Seattle, Beacon Hill, to Renton.
Yeah.
So because I moved, I had to switch schools as well. So I switched to Renton High School when I was a junior. And I remember very interestingly that when I transferred to Renton, I have this very vivid memory. On my first day there, I was in the counseling office, right? Just trying to figure out my classes and all that. And then when I was in there, this Asian dude came in to talk with the counselor or whatever, right? And do whatever, and then he walked out, right? But I remember looking at him like, in my head, like, that guy looks really cool. You know, he's like a popular kid, like a really cool kid, you know? And I'm like, damn, I kind of want to be his friend, you know? But that was just a quick thought.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him again, you know? And then fast forward to like a month later, I'm hanging out with my other friend, and we're just chilling out in the common area in high school, right? And then my friend that I'm hanging out with brought another one of his friends, and this dude was an Asian dude with like tats and finger tats and all this.
Yeah.
I think he might have been associated with some stuff, right? But I remember the guy with the tats, went and talked to this other guy in the comments, this other Asian dude, right? And the guy he was talking to was the same guy I saw on my first day in the counseling office, right?
Oh shit.
Like, oh shit, that guy again. I'm like, that guy looks cool again. It's cool. It's interesting that I see him again, you know? But I didn't think too much of it. But, you know, it's hard to explain, but I felt this very, like, pull towards him.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain, but I've felt this multiple times throughout my life, and it always, like, becomes something, you know?
No, for real.
But anyway, that was it for that day, right? And then he talked with him, and then we went our separate ways.
Yeah.
And then I remember eventually second semester came. And when second semester came, some of your classes change, you know, like your electives. You still keep like your basic class, like math, science, and all this. But your electives change, right? So I remember I had gym class. No, I forgot what class I had, but I had a class that changed. It was 5th period. So my first semester changed from whatever class that was to art class, second semester, right? And second semester art class, I remember the first day I walked in, new classroom, you know, talking to people that I know and shit, right? And then I remember as people came in through the door, I'm like, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? You know? And then eventually it's time for class to start. I see that fucking Asian dude come in. I'm like, oh shit, it's that one dude again, you know? But I'm not saying I'm thinking too deep about it. It's just, I see that guy again.
No, I get it.
And then class starts, and I'm sitting, you know, on this table. That guy sits on that table. And I forgot how it happens. I think the first day of school, the first day of class, you can sit wherever you want. And eventually they assign seats, right? And I think eventually assigned seats came like a week later, and they moved us around, and I ended up being the same table as that guy, the Asian dude.
Interesting, yeah.
That I saw the first day of school, and that I also talked to my other friend. And I just always felt this pull towards him.
So I feel like that's also you said the first thing you said when you saw him, that you were like, that dude was cool, I'd like to be his friend. It's almost like you told the universe something,
maybe,
and you're like, universe is like, okay, I got you, Zico.
Maybe.
And again, it's about being patient, because I feel like shit does happen like that. You say if you really want something, just look at things differently. It's not gonna happen usually instantly. Things will happen as it takes time. It's gotta happen gradual, and just like anything, it's like gears. Things gotta move so these parts can start moving. And you literally, as you were telling the story, I saw the moving parts you're talking about. Just these weird little friend groups, these link ups. So think of things like a watch chain. Just they're like parts moving, bloop, clink, 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 and they start clinking. You get part of these little moving chains. That's interesting.
I agree.
How crazy is that?
Now I can definitely see it looking back.
Yeah.
Now knowing this shit, I can be more aware of it now, right? But anyway, going back then, I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
But I did always feel like there was something.
For sure.
To explain, you know?
No, I know. I kind of know what you mean.
We're just in the same table, and we start talking, you know, because we're on the same table. And we find out that we know some mutual people. Like, he knows some people that went to the same middle school as me, same high school as me, and all that, right? And then eventually, we just started talking more and more and more. And then I around that time, I was getting cut by this one barber, and I just invited him, that Asian dude. We'll call him T. I invited him to get their cut with me, you know, and then we got haircut and stuff like that, and we just started, you know, talking more and more and more. And then coincidentally, around that time, for like the past month or two, I was looking for a job because I never had a job before, and I wanted to start working and making money, right? It was hard for me to
What
get
age
a
is
job.
this in high school, by the way?
I was a junior.
Junior,
so
okay.
I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
So it was hard for me to get a job because I have no experience, you know. But then I was talking with him, and he was already working. So I asked him to hook me up with a job. And then he hooked me up with a job, and then ended up being my first job ever. I don't know if I mentioned it to you before, but I worked in the fried chicken restaurant.
Oh yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
That was because of him. He hooked me up with it. So me and him became close friends because we ended up at the same table, and then we started working at the same place, you know. And that was so crazy how when we eventually became friends, I remember thinking back. I'm like, oh, I remember you from the first day of school, and I remember seeing you around school before, thinking you're a cool guy, and I wanted to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Fast forward, now we're working the same job, and we're tight and stuff, you know. But then eventually, to be honest, we're not friends no more.
Oh, I was about to say, y'all still friends?
Because he turned out to not be a very good guy.
Oh,
He's
shit.
that same guy I told you about. I told this other story about how they used to sell flowers at this farmer's market in downtown Renton. For like $5, you get this beautiful bouquet. Deal every summer, right? He would go there and buy flowers. And I remember one day he bought flowers for his girl. But he bought 2 sets of flowers. One for his girl. And he also had a crush on this other girl that he bought flowers for.
Damn.
And ended up dropping off. And then when he went to go hang out with his girl, before he hung out with his girl, he stopped by that one girl's house to drop the flowers at her front doorstep with a love note. And then went to hang out with his girl afterwards.
God,
he was not a good guy.
No, unfortunately not.
But I feel like everything happens for a reason. I was supposed to meet him.
Yeah.
Because meeting him changed me a lot. Because he kind of took advantage of me.
Yeah.
Kindness and all that type of stuff. So I feel like I had to learn that lesson from him. You know? So I feel like that poll wasn't a good thing necessarily as making a new friend. But it was a lesson learned. And now I know to look out for certain things in people, you know?
Yeah.
Now I meet people that are similar to him. I'm like, oh shit.
I agree with that, yeah.
Bad people in my past, they end up being the same person. You know? So that was just a story about how I felt this pull towards this person. And it led to all this shit.
Yeah.
You know? So that was crazy.
No.
That was one of the craziest ones.
I see 2 different lessons in there. Like, for sure, that's a part of it. Like, even though you felt a pull, you may have like, oh, maybe it means I'm supposed to hang out. Maybe the pull is because that's a growing period for you. Like, you felt a pull because you're supposed to experience this because that will help you get ahead. Because I feel like if you didn't have that pull, you would probably still be struggling with something similar until you either interacted with someone to experience that. Because sometimes we do have to experience something to learn, you know. But also, you saw him and then you were like, I want that. I would like to be cool. I would do. This seems like and by you even saying that, it's like you allowed this connection to happen because you kind of felt a pull, but it's like you still had that thought. So it's like it's all started right there. I feel like
when you
that's
said
interesting.
I think that's exactly it. You know, that's probably like manifesting.
Yeah, and also be careful with that shit. Yeah.
We push it out into the air.
No.
You know, so I'm like, oh shit.
That's interesting.
I didn't get what I wanted. It didn't turn out to be what I expected.
Yeah,
I didn't get a lesson out of it.
No, and that's how, as long as you look at shit like that in life, I think you're gonna be always gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because I think there's always a lesson learned, good or bad, in every situation.
But yeah, I've had that everywhere I go.
Yeah.
No matter where I go, I always feel this weird pull towards people.
No, I don't know if it was ever, mine was ever towards, God, I'm trying to think. I do always feel that pull because me and Christian were talking about that, Kat. We're talking about that because it led him to Seattle, and he was saying like he just how when he came here doors just opened up, and it was weird. He just like, and I was like, that's how the universe sometimes works. Like when you're really listening and you know it makes sense. Like I'm coming here and I don't have like, I think another example is like Brad Pitt just went to Hollywood, $200 in his pocket. You know, that's like sometimes you gotta have that leap of faith. Just like I don't have really any idea what's going on, but I just feel this pull for some reason. And sometimes stuff opens up, or sometimes it's just so you can learn this lesson that you're supposed to learn. But sometimes I don't think people fully learn it, because I think we both have some examples of people that probably go through life that maybe should be learning a lesson, but they're missing it because they have blinders on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what happens to those people is they're gonna keep having shit happen to them.
No, for real.
But I think some people never learn.
No, I really feel that way. Some lessons are longer for sure. I think like cycles, some things do take longer for things to happen, for you to learn shit. But I do feel like I know so many people that I feel like get stuck, and then now that I'm paying attention to these connecting patterns, like I'm gonna have to start just really thinking about and going back, like what you're saying, like even yours, you just realize, like I really feel like you manifested that, which is crazy. That kind of blows my mind a little bit, and I just like how your story had all the inner workings, how it kind of connected, kind of freaks me out a little bit.
That happens to me a lot, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, that happens to me a lot, and I don't like to say it out loud too much.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I jinx myself. So most of the time I let life and actions happen, and if it does happen, then I tell the story after.
Yeah, no, that's
See,
probably
right now I might be seeing some shit that I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
Until I see what happens after.
no, and I think that's good. It's I gotta learn that lesson too, to keep shit to myself. It's okay.
Yeah, you definitely got.
I know. It's forever ever learning. Don't forget, ever learning. And I think there's gonna be a version of me where I'm probably gonna be quiet as fuck.
Okay.
It's gonna be crazy, but where I speak, I'm like one of those turtles where I just have this weird knowledge that pops out.
I think you gotta stop saying you're gonna do this shit. Actually do it, man.
I'm doing it. No, I'm doing it. That's all I do on my free time. I'm just fucking learning, practicing,
Okay.
trying to figure out things to learn. Like even I will say working out. My God, has that changed different my persona? It's just working on breathing has enhanced different ideas of life. But yeah, working out, I have so much energy to burn. I don't know if I can ever truly burn my energy off.
Oh, I don't know, but they say that when it comes to goals, a lot of times it's not good to say you're gonna do something and actually do it, because when you say you're gonna do something, you already get that dopamine hit of actually doing it, you know? So better actually do it, because most people that say they're gonna do shit, they get that dopamine hit and don't even do it. But you got the reward anyway.
Oh no, I've never been. I usually, if I'm doing it, I say it, I do it. I don't typically, because obviously I have too many things to do. I have to learn how to. That's what I need to learn. It's a lesson for me. I do too much shit at once.
Yeah.
I need to learn. I always say aims don't miss them all. Like we were talking about conversations, not applying your own logic to your own shit. I tend to do too much. I overstretch myself because I want to keep learning so much stuff, but sometimes if I'm doing too much, like it'll hold you down. So I'm having to pull myself back and like figure out where my true focus is at. Like I want to keep working, but I think it's best to put energy in things. Like I haven't even touched my instruments in it felt like at least 7-8 months, man. I don't really practice as much because they're not as much a priority as much anymore. I'm realizing I'm trying to pay attention to my pull, like you're saying. I unfortunately feel pulls towards so much shit. It's just more like learning how to hone that pull, because like I might feel all these pulls, doesn't mean I gotta go after all those fucking pulls.
Yeah.
But it's like narrowing that focus, you know?
Yeah. We're heading towards the end of this episode. I just want to end it off real quick. I just remember a couple more details about that old friend. It's interesting also because I remember, this is very random, but I remember I used to ride the bus home when I went to Franklin.
Yeah.
All the way from Rainier to Renton when I was still going to Franklin, but I moved already. And on that bus, I remember I was seeing another Asian dude on that bus. You know, I could tell he was like more street dude and all that, right? That guy just looks cool, you know, but he always chills on the back of the bus. And then fast forward a couple years later, I'm hanging out with my new friend that I just talked about that I met at my new high school, Renton, who I had that pull towards, T. And as I'm hanging out with him, I remember we went to the casino a couple times, and he's like, "Let me bring my cousin around, right?" And the guy he brings around is that one dude I saw on the fucking bus.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck?
That's weird sync up,
world,
man.
You know?
No, that's crazy.
And that guy that he brought, his cousin, was also he sold a lot of marijuana, so I ended up buying from him a lot of the time, you know. But it was just interesting, like small world, you know.
No.
And then
I gotta tell you something on that, but keep going.
He had my T had another
Yeah.
friend, this Mexican dude, who I remember when I first transferred to Renton, that class I went to, my first class, that Mexican dude was in it. And he was talking a lot, and I'm like, oh, that guy seems cool too, you know. I'm like, he seems like a cool, popular kid, you know. But I didn't think too much about it.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got switched out of that class to go to another class, right? And a year later, I'm friends with T, and we start working. And then T, he's like, I got a friend that I'm gonna also put on to this job, you know, that I have gym class with and all that, right? And then he's like, he goes to our school too. He's like, his name is this, you know. I'm like, oh, sounds familiar. And then the guy comes in and it's the fucking Mexican dude from that class, you know.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
Another cool guy that I saw.
Yeah.
But then eventually, I did not become friends with both of them because they're both did me dirty.
Oh yeah.
So that was another lesson learned right there.
But
just small world.
No, that's crazy. But no, what's weird is like you'll see people and it's like something subconscious is recognizing it because they'll stand out to you for some reason, and you don't know why they stand out. You're like, oh wow, I don't know what that is. I honestly feel like humans, we have some abilities. Each of us are fucking different. You're the first person I ever encountered where they would do this, and then all of a sudden it links up to you later. I've never seen that with people because it seems like all these damn stories, you always have a connection. You see him, oh, that's interesting. That dude looks this, and all of a sudden, a couple of days later or that same day, you'll link up with that motherfucker. That's fucking weird, man.
All the freaking time.
Pay attention to it. That's a pattern connection. So next time someone links up and maybe really investigate why are they standing out to me?
Yeah, I've been paying attention before you even told me.
Yeah.
I've been paying attention.
Yeah, but that's interesting.
It happens so much that it made me pay attention.
Yeah.
It happens my whole life.
But that's the shit that I was talking about. Like the things that happen to me, like that, it's different. But I do have sync ups like that where I'm trying to pay attention. Like even at work, where I was telling you, so many times I would sync up. It was like it happened so many fucking times. Like why is this happening so much? It didn't make sense. But when I started paying attention, they didn't do it as much. And it's like then I started trying to pay attention to other patterns that sync up. It kind of helped me pay attention for that stupid thing, and then I started seeing these bigger patterns that just like in my normal routines of whatever life, like when I don't know, it's like I'm trying to understand all these things that connect in our past or future, present, all that shit, because it feels like you can control your destiny in a sense, because like you pay attention to those people you're recognizing for some reason, like you don't know why, but they're standing out to you. They're highlighted. Words to me will be highlighted randomly. I'll hear a passage or like Ain't Small Miss Small, I'll watch a movie, highlighted. It just will ring like a resonance in me for some reason.
Yeah, I just know you can't force it, because I've had moments where I did feel pulled towards people when nothing happened, and I wouldn't force it.
Yeah.
You know, like for example, I just went on a couple interviews for jobs not too long ago, and we at one of my jobs saw an old coworker, and I'm like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not gonna force a relationship with him. I'm like, if I get this job and we end up talking, that would be what happens. Yeah. But if I don't get this job, I'm not gonna care, because like it wasn't meant to be, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, don't make something out of nothing.
No, I think that's true.
Yeah, because sometimes people I think do have this feeling, and they try to force it. Like, oh, that person seems cool, I'm gonna go be friends with them and talk to them. You know? And
then it gets out, where's you? Exactly. Yeah, it didn't let it happen naturally. Yeah.
You know. But yeah.
No, I think it's a lesson I'm still trying to learn. I tried to put it in practice this past year. I've been doing this more often. Subconsciously, I've been doing it, I think. But it's giving up control. Don't try to control shit as much in your life. Like the outward things, like it causes frustration, anxiety sometimes, because some things are out of your control. Sometimes shit is. And then like sometimes I would get frustrated, like I'm driving and the shit's exit off. And that was the fastest way to get there. Instead of getting frustrated, just okay, life happened. Maybe go somewhere else. Who knows what? Like you learn to give up that control. It made my life so much. I stopped getting frustrated. And same thing. If I might feel pulled towards something, okay, if it's meant to happen. Because I even had stuff linked up where we're supposed to hang out and supposed to hang out with someone else. I actually double booked, but if it was supposed to sync up, it would have synced up. Even though I don't know things that get pulled that I might end up wanting to do, I was like, if it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen. I don't want to try to put my fingers in it, you know. It's like that's how you lose it. I feel like you're trying to grab it, then it becomes like sand and just glides out of your hand. Yeah. But if you learning how to not control, it's like you're controlling it by not controlling it in a sense. Because it's allowing things to slowly sync up when they're supposed to. Because I even look at how me and my wife, how we could have met. I think you have something similar. So many different random encounters where we could have met, but we didn't. And if we met probably when we were younger, we wouldn't have worked out. We had to go through our own shit. And until we finally started getting where we're both somewhat on the same level, we finally synced up.
Yeah.
You know? It's weird shit like that.
I 100% agree that sometimes you're not meant to meet certain people or for things to happen until you're ready.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes people that I look at that have kind of miserable lives and they're like older and they're like blaming everything. I'm like, it's you. You're just not ready.
For real.
If you worked on your shit, then things will start coming your way. But you're such a bitter, not doing shit with your life person that why would anything come your way? You're not even, I don't know what's more valuable in your own self. Why would anybody want to come towards you?
I think there's like RuPaul says this best is like if you can't
the drag person
is like about if you can't love yourself, how the hell can you love someone else? No, because like I think I used to not really agree with that, but now I get it, because you have to love yourself. Otherwise, you're never gonna truly love other people. You might have an idea of love, but you also are doing unloving things because actions are in that. But
true.
I don't know.
That was a good way to end this. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you like it.
Yeah.
We didn't have smoke, so I feel feel like that was a good conversation.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
decent. It was a good
Thanks for
conversation.
watching. See you in the next one. I gotta pee.